Hello and welcome. My name is Jason. This channel is called It's Probably Okay. I hope you're doing okay. Some of our cast is doing other things and is okay, but not here. So we have some change-ups. Normally we have a Pooja with us, and we also have a blue troller, Minerva, but I couldn't leave her labels on the screen and also have Sam's. So Sam has erased Blue Troll. No, that's not what happened. But the cast is slightly modified today as we explore the bad thing that found us at the end of episode 1. And, I mean, what could go wrong, really?
It's probably okay.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to get to Sam's introduction last as our special guest, so... Clara, who are you? How did you get in here? What is Estella?
That's never mind. I'm too tired to make that joke. Hi, I'm Clara, and I play Stella Hart, who is the former child star, current burnout, and also the Celestial playbook for this game, which means Stella spends a lot of time knowing people's secrets, just knowing them for no reason. What are you going to do with that information? Who knows?
And who is her divine parent?
Yes, from the media pantheon, Stella's divine parent is Influencer.
Which also makes Minerva's character your sibling.
Mm-hmm.
And with different mortal parents, but the same divine parent. Yep. And Pooja's character, Trey, is also from the media pantheon. We will come up with a reason why she has vanished. But meanwhile, Joey, what are you?
That's a great question. I've been asking myself that for years. But for now, I'm Joey, and I am playing Lee Spencer Fitzgerald, the arcane son of the god Ares. So the arcane son of the god of war. Why just be a disappointment to your parents in real life? We can also play one on Twitch.
Excellent.
What a mistake to drink anything during this game.
Now,
stay thirsty, my friends.
Sam, welcome to the show. It's lovely to have you here. We have identified you as a monster or perhaps the monster. Would you like to say something about yourself and then explain yourself?
Well, I feel like with that introduction, you've kind of done the whole thing. Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a monster. I'm a role-playing performer and variety streamer throughout the Twitchernet. You can find me doing a whole bunch of things, but also on Friday, Friend Day playing here with Jason, we hang out. Sometimes we do cool games with cool people. Sometimes
we invite...
that was the illusion, yes.
Sometimes we have cool people. Sometimes we have Clara on. I got it.
I'm not fighting you on that.
Got it in one.
Here. I know what I'm about.
Sorry, Sam. People. As you were saying.
Oh no! Please, your words are more important. My white cis male friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I think anything about my character will be soon revealed.
Indeed. One thing I will note about it is one of the stretch goals for our Kickstarter was to create a playbook called The Monster. So we will be experiencing some of the roughest rough draft content that has ever existed. But Sam has very gamely agreed to hop on that trash pile and just trash panda all the details out of it. So
it's my favorite terrain. Gosh.
Yes, exactly. Perfect. Great. Thank you for redeeming stretch. A lot of this is a stretch, and we do this for you.
My punchlines.
No, I'm fully making a raccoon ranger whose favorite terrain is trash. I need this in my life.
A raccoon ranger with a human companion?
Yes.
Yes. Oh. Yes, we'll talk later.
Oh my god, it's a Humblewood campaign. Anyway, let's go.
I'm into
That's
it.
not this day.
So, last time we were trying to do a very simple slice of life series of introductory scenes for our characters. And it went exactly according to plan. Minerva's character stepped out to find a local, very popular elote truck that is, so our game is centered in Hollywood, particularly usually near Hollywood Forever Cemetery. And just for folks who aren't here or haven't been following the previous, or don't know anything about the cemetery at all, it is not purely a, sad, quiet place. Like, there are plenty of places for reflective contemplation, but it is also, it's kind of designed to be not a tourist destination, but just a social place that maybe is, death is not as dramatic or final, or, it's more of an experience. There's always a really great Dia de los Muertos experience every year that, at least from what I've heard, doesn't feel like horrifically appropriated. But I'm sure opinions on that vary, so apologies if I got that wrong. But it is, the cemetery, objectively, is a relatively social area. It's a place people go to hang out. They have movie nights. It's just not a quiet, sad, standard cemetery.
Good place for a goth date.
Right. Our main characters first were bound together by saving the cemetery from somebody trying to raise zombies, which is extremely disrespectful to the dead bodies. So, who was it? Regular players? That was, I actually am blanking on who was responsible for that.
The son of movies.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Trying to do a revival.
A misguided demigod of movies wanted to recreate a vibe, and it went poorly.
Did not pass the check.
Right. So our demigods have been bound together, particularly at the cemetery. The cemetery is their spindle. It is the place, it is the location that makes their cooperation possible. And demigods, these semi-divine beings, are not supposed to associate with each other. Their fates get all tangled up, and it's just a huge mess. But for the first time in all of human history, a group of demigods has been able to join together and do a story together. And this is them. And then one of them tried to get free elote. And we all know what happens.
Sometimes the elote gets you.
Yeah.
How did this happen? How did this all go so wrong? Get into the details of exactly.
So many. Well, first of all, you can watch the VOD, I assume. Second, it's just a lot of double snake eyes, I think, is what happened. So many snake eyes.
Right. Yes, the dice. It's all the dice's fault.
It's always the dice's fault.
It's always the dice's fault, and only the dice's fault.
All right. So I'm going to pick up with, so we were all converging, it turns out, on this spot where I think we went back and forth between saying truck and cart. And I actually would like this to have always been an elote truck, like a food truck. And they have other things, but they're claim to fame as this just embarrassingly good elote that you get in a paper cup, and it's not even a fancy presentation. It's just embarrassingly good. And that's where Minerva's character went to try to set up a collab with this truck is gaining media presence. It usually announces where it's going to park only 20 minutes ahead of time so that it's not swamped and they don't just completely overwhelm whatever neighborhood they end up in. It's actually relatively polite for from the truck owner to, they could probably make more money if they did bigger lead time, blah, blah, blah. They don't seem to be horrible people, but Rosalinda made an indecent proposal, and the driver of the truck, who we never properly met either. We know she was, I think, a 40-something Latino woman, and mostly what we know about her is that she was annoyed with Rosalinda. And then the rest of the episode was getting everyone to this spot. I believe we will find Trey was taken into a ripple of the inappropriate time travel that Lee used to get here, which is fine. It's always fine to time travel. If Hermes lets you do it, it must be okay.
Yeah, I got his permission.
Yeah, and you only went forward.
Yeah, going back is the problem.
Yeah.
I specifically dislike time travel so much because of this.
So I think Trey is the one coming in on motorcycle, right? Or was that Stella?
I think it was
Trey's got a bike.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, her and the motorcycle, I think Lee appeared and the motorcycle just like disappeared in a ripple. I'm like, that's okay. We're probably okay. And you know, we'll resolve that. You all, like, as a weave, you would know if she died, right? Like if something horrible happened, you would know.
She's okay. She's not dead, so we're okay, right?
Right, because you would then be pulled towards her afterlife to like do something about it, and so you would instinctively know. You have this sense of like, she is somewhere inconvenient, and we're gonna have to deal with that. But right now, this darkness has come over the elote truck, and none of the mortals in the area seem to, like, no one's like, what the heck is that? They're just like in line at the truck doing what they're gonna do. The lady who runs the thing has gone back into the truck, and Rosalinda has kind of walked around behind the truck. She is like looking up at the shadow thing, walks around behind the truck. We're not totally sure what she's seeing, but as the two of you approach, the truck is between you and where Rosalinda was going, right? You're like coming up from the front, like the server side of the truck, and she's around like on the grass, where, you know, off the curb there. And you both have this sense of not Troy's danger, but Rosalinda's sudden silence. And you didn't realize that you were constantly aware of each other as much until right now. But it's like when the air conditioning shuts off and you're like, oh, there is a noise that's supposed to be here. What would the two of you do in this situation? You're both here and can interact, and you are, yeah. What is your process?
Fuck. Just in character, the longest, growliest fuck.
If what's her the oldest daughter Belcher?
Yeah,
Tina?
full Tina.
Tina, but saying fuck.
Yeah, it's the Tina, but it's just swearing.
Yeah. When Tina's like 19
correct.
and is like cussing. Yeah.
That's about right.
Yeah.
Just that.
Well, good. That's helpful.
Okay.
mm.
Lee, you're, walking up the street. Your friend Stella is here.
Do you know what she did?
I don't. It's weird, but no. Suddenly I've realized I don't know.
You're also both perceiving this sort of collected darkness over the truck.
Yeah, do you want to deal with that?
Do I want to deal with that? Not particularly. It wasn't on my to-do list. But yeah, I guess we can go ahead and deal with that.
To your perception, it is like a dark cloud. It doesn't look like just a low rain cloud. It looks like an artist's rendering of, like when you upload to Google Drive or Dropbox, like the various cloud symbol that they use for that, like that sort of generic. It looks like somebody drew a real life 3D rendering of that kind of cloud, like essentially line art, with dark gray charcoal color fill in, and it's sort of drifting over. It's over the truck, and now it's sort of drifting over the space just behind the truck. It's not moving quickly, but what would you like to do about it? If you want to inspect it, we could try. There's a move for that. If you want to throw something at it, that's an option. You could throw your friend at it.
I was gonna say, is this more of a pierce the veil situation?
It sure would be, yeah.
Oh, I think I'm good at that. I would definitely probably use that if I can. Cool. Just roll 2d6 and let you know what I get.
Yeah. Do you have the basic moves there? The PDF
I do.
For that?
I do.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, we're not doing great. Let me just double check my stats.
It's plus your judgment.
Oh, okay. We should be okay then. 5 plus. What the frick? Oh shit. 8. Not great.
Okay. Now, did you have a move as well that I think you might have taken something that modifies your pierce the veil move?
Actually, you are totally right. When I take a +1, so it's actually bumped up to a 9. I also have third eye, so I can roll with Fate's Favor instead of the +1.
Yeah. Okay. So subtract 1, it would have given you a +1 if you didn't have the Fate's Favor thing. So roll a third die and keep the best 2 out of the 3 dice you've now rolled.
Oh shit. Okay, that's way different. All right, so that's now a 12.
Oh, okay.
Well, 13 if I add. Well, not with 13, so just 12.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, you don't have access to the 13 plus stuff because you have to do a whole level up thing to unlock that. But at 10 plus, you get to ask 3 questions.
Oh shit.
Start with the questions on the list. If you need to freestyle a little bit, use those as a starting point. But they should get us somewhere.
I mean, what's that is the first question, which I don't think is technically on the list, but I feel like should be. Followed by, so let's go with, where did this come from?
Okay.
And is it what's that if I can?
Well, let's go one at a time. So where did this come from? This is a sending of the media pantheon. It is a direct. It is not a divine being, but a divine being sent this effect because they're not supposed to show up personally, right? But this is a remote effect.
It's a video call. It's a FaceTime from someone.
Yeah, kind of.
They are exerting remote control.
Yeah. It's a media storm, if you will.
If I turn off my camera, it'll mess up the frames, won't it? Sure.
Thanks for joining us, Clara. Have a good week.
Just leaving. So cool. It's I venture to say it's someone who doesn't have it out for us. Followed by let's see. Can I ask what the heck it is? Like what? Well, I did ask what it was.
What's that is not on the list kind of on purpose. Because it's
I figured.
It's also just from a narrative point of view, it's not just looking at it, you might not be able to get that answer, right? But what's happening or what's in the greatest danger, all that kind of stuff is contextualized.
I will ask what the greatest danger is. I don't think it's the cloud. I think it's the Trey that's disappeared.
Yes. Well, actually, no. Trey is, as far as you know, safe and somewhere else. The greatest danger right now is Rosalinda. Or she's in the greatest danger, I guess. But it's also maybe a relief to understand that all the mortals at the truck, none of them are in danger. They don't even realize this thing is overhead. They seem to be perfectly safe.
And I guess the who's responsible for this person placer thing, because we know it's from media, but we got a whole pantheon.
Yeah, you might want to know which one exactly. Well, the bad news is it is from media herself. And she rarely intervenes in things directly. So,
cool. Cool.
So for you personally, like directly interfering with that would be a crime. But your friend is on the other side of this truck doing who knows what. So is it fair to say Stella might find herself in a moment of hesitation?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Okay, we'll take that for a second. Lee, first instincts?
Yeah, I know that whatever this is Rosalinda's fault, but I don't want her to get hurt because of it.
That's very Greek to, like, the first instinct is, whose fault is this? The Dodecatheon would be proud of you.
Thank you. It's half the basis of the entire mythology. So I'm gonna try to do a spell about it. I want to try to cast a spell about it.
You, the son of Ares.
Yeah. It's gonna be great.
Your father is so proud.
It's my life, Dad. All right, so let's do spellcasting is plus weird. My weird is a +2.
Yes, it is, and it could not be more disappointing.
I would just like to point out, Jason, I'm still on a rolling streak. I rolled an 8.
Okay, yeah, that's better than it could have been.
Right. Side note, we were playing a game last night, and I was rolling 9+ the entire night. Like, I should have gone to Vegas.
And we were
anyway.
all going like, yay, I can't wait for the Demigods game tomorrow where Joey just eats concrete. Okay.
I'm very happy. So that is a 10 on my spellcast. Oh, I should have chosen effects beforehand, right?
Oh, yeah, we're supposed to do that beforehand.
Oh, that's my bad. But I would have chosen...
Random effects.
Don't tempt me. Restrict movement and reveal a secret are the two effects I wanted.
Okay. So I don't normally do this. I don't like a no but it's no but, not yes and.
Sure.
I just put together I didn't even mean it, and the context of the words that just came out of my mouth are a whole thing. Okay, so restrict movement. You feel that part of your spell just evaporate in the face of overwhelming force, just irresistible force, and that's but right away that tells you like, oh, this is not some other like demigod or like random encounter monster, something like that. Like this was sent by a deity. Mm-hmm. But then you wanted to reveal a secret.
Yeah.
Okay, so the secret is that this is a conveyance. It is here to deliver something, or perhaps someone.
Ooh.
And in fact, in this moment, a bolt of shadowy black lightning juts down from the cloud, blasts the ground behind the truck. You all see the truck like rock a little bit, grass and clods of sod, like dust in the air, everything. Like somebody gets knocked down waiting in line and they just get up and nobody comments on the fact that all of this just happened. They're like, oh, LA rumbles. Whoa. Just a regular old localized tiny earthquake.
First post.
Earthquake Twitter's gonna freak out.
Yeah. But nobody like puts the localized blast behind it. Like they don't put that together, right? So what do you think? Is it time to go behind the truck?
I mean, yeah, I'm definitely gonna grab Lee's arm. I don't know which of us is stronger. The answer is probably neither.
Well, now I want to know.
Prowess.
What are the prowess scores in question here?
I have a +1 prowess. Thank you very much.
I have a -1.
Okay.
So I like pull on your sleeve. I have like jewel in one hand, sleeve in the other. Like we're gonna do this now.
You mean the vape?
The
jewel.
vape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Full disgusting. Yeah, Stella's not a clean person. But yeah, just grabs sleeve and tries to drag you and fails miserably.
Oh no, I'll go along with you. Just think under my breath, your sister pissed someone big off.
I believe that fully. We're gonna go poke it with a stick.
All right. Well, as you make your way around, you find a bit of a blast zone. There is another person here who is not Rosalinda, who actually looks like relatively disoriented and like this is not the person. Like the lightning was not this person, right? Like it just like spat them out. So that is like. You would also, like, if this person was the deity who sent the cloud, there would be immediate reality affecting moments, right? So you are not facing a deity. But, Sam, what can you tell us about who they are facing? And what happened to Rosalinda?
Yes, so this person stands up and the shadow moves up around them and they look like Chernobog from Fantasia Hall of the Mountain King. And as they stand up, the light hits from around the truck and thereby dissipating the shadow up into a hammer in their hand as it reveals a young femme, like very early 20s, in a beanie, who just flips out their phone and grabs a selfie with the truck, holsters their phone, and swings the hammer one more time as it sort of shadow up into it.
Did we just witness a birth?
I do need to draw attention to Great A's genius of that this may have been a birthquake, and
I dislike this greatly for so many reasons. How's Rosalinda looking? Is she gone?
Well, Sam, do you have any thoughts on how you want to portray this, or do you want me to?
Given that the shadow slurped up into the hammer, I think if you were to get close enough, you could see, like a Thor's hammer is a very matte metal. You couldn't make a reflection out of it, but you would see the shapes, a shadow, a silhouette. No, certainly not. That's lights playing tricks.
Yep.
They don't have a shadow Rosalinda in their hammer. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, it looks like there may be a shadow Rosalinda trapped in the hammer that arrived with this person.
Wild speculation. Wild. Unhinged.
I'm gonna push Lee. I was gonna introduce us. I'm gonna push Lee forward instead. You're the son of Thor. You do the thing. You say it.
I'm not the son of Thor.
War, I said war.
Oh.
You go. You do.
Oh, I thought you said son of Thor too.
Oh,
Can we make that canon?
Can we make? Fine. Yeah. Aren't you? Isn't Thor your dad? Go do the thing.
Thor or whatever.
It's not even the same. Jeez.
I don't know. Buff guy likes weapons. Do the thing.
Buff white warrior guy.
Yeah, buff white guy.
Hi. Can we help you?
Oh, it's all of you. Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Yeah, couldn't notice that you might have picked up something that belongs to us, and we kind of like her back.
People belong to anyone.
Oh, don't worry about Rosalinda. That was just a shadow ban.
And
okay.
I should note for Lee and Stella, whereas Trey is distant but safe, and we know that Rosalind is not dead because that would be a very specific type of pull, she's quiet, and you can't connect with her in a way that you normally would.
I am going to ignore any jokes one can make about silencing marginalized women and just point out that, are you seriously shadow banning our friend right now?
Are you? Yeah, you're from us. You should know what kind of crimes are happening here right now. Frankly, you're gonna have to save yourself from this, or you're gonna get caught up in it too. Both of you, really. I don't know you. Video game? No. Wizard school? No. There's something off about. But it's associated. Like, you're gonna have to get some separation. At least get someone in PR. But we can work on it. Hi.
Sam, if you want to play with it, Lee's whole vibe is used to be popular. So if that's something you want to play around with, feel free.
Helpful. I can't even just like tell what the smell is from, because like, I don't know, it smells kind of like Hades, smells kind of like Harry Potter. I can't figure it out. Just like all my media references are falling short here.
I'm just gonna look at Stella. Do you want to translate?
I think she just, well, I don't know. I think she just described you as having a problematic creator. No,
I did, but yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're on the same page then. Yeah.
We're all, yeah. I mean, more the situation that I think she's. I think that's. Are you a demigod? Is that what's happening here? Are we allowed to say that?
Oh God.
Also, for the record, the character, I think it didn't come through. The character did establish they
yes.
as they were
Sorry.
responding to you. So.
Okay,
Yes.
Good.
Did they? Are you? Is your parent like our parents? Is that what's happening here?
Is my parent like your parents? Yes. Am I like you? No. I'm a warning. I'm a threat. I'm the seeker.
Okay, so I don't do conflict. So whatever you're here to warn us about, I would really appreciate if you just told us and then did what you do somewhere else. And also give us back my sister.
That's not gonna work. See, I'm the seeker of attention seekers. Do you know what it is to propose a collab with someone way bigger deal than you and just chase clout like that? No, not acceptable.
Well, I mean,
We can't have this in our pantheon. We're cleaning house. So I'm here. And look, you are not doomed. Not that I have, like, the direct, but I hear the comments. I think if you separate yourself, if you make a statement, just shunning any of that kind of work, just like create some separation, you might be all right. But you better do it now.
Are they for real?
I honestly don't know. Okay, there's so many reasons you can't just do that. Stella, has the most of this is the face that she makes when she's like halfway like in the veil and is just like kind of vibing, kind of staring into her own death, and the other half is like she's panicking, but in like a very quiet way.
Yep. And just as for the Herald's voice here, to clarify, and I think because Stella, you would have a somewhat of a inherent understanding of what this message is that the Seeker is saying you basically have to renounce your friendship.
I'm getting there, Harold. I'll get there.
I do like the idea that the Seeker could just talk to the Herald.
What was it you said, Sam?
Well, I would. What else is a banhammer like this so big for if not to break through the fourth wall?
But okay, fair. What was it you had said before when I rudely talked over you?
Oh, yeah, that you need to renounce Linda. And that fame chasing collab, transparent. Media saw right through it. It's just looking for attention. And that's why I'm here.
It's a learning curve. She's learning. Not all of us have oppressive PR people managing us.
Oh, I'm sorry. We just make our mistakes out in public on the internet now? And then expect to be able to learn from them?
Stella just points to herself in the, like, currently on decade, like, within the first decade of extended mental breakdown. Hi.
I have to say, as the Herald, I've been sweaty thinking about this character for the 1.5 hours ago that we came up with it. And I am still anxious about their existence.
I love them so much.
I'm a huge fan.
I'm a huge fan.
Quick question, Jason. Would I, using my divine intellect, be able to determine if my restrict movement spell would work against Seeker? Because I know it didn't work against their delivery system, but would it work against them?
Let's roll Bend Fate first as a kind of like test the waters.
Yeah.
Let's, pulling the strings a little bit. Sam, did you you have the rough playbook there available to you, right?
Yep, I have stats, gifts, abilities.
Okay, great.
Okay, so I rolled an 11 plus 2 is 13.
Okay. And that's with your Bend Fate, right?
Yeah, it was Bend Fate, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you some information that, right, so this would be like your gift does something beyond its normal limits, your divine intellect sort of absorbing some information like this. Oh, we were supposed to do these before you roll too. Would you like your gift to give you 2 pieces of information? Because you can double up on the same boon if you want. Double up, huh?
Yeah, for divine intellect, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, and then what bane do you want?
I will... I'll take Fate's Disfavor on my next roll.
No, disfavor. Yeah, okay. All right, so you know that you probably could restrict their movement, but you also know that this could be like an inciting international diplomatic violation between pantheons, particularly because this isn't a demigod. They're also not a deity. That's why you can stop them. But
just because you can doesn't mean you should.
I'd like that the Seeker actually just commented on that in person. So
yes, this is exactly how it works.
Yep.
Who are they talking to? Like, turns to Lee. Who are they talking to?
At least it is as if the Seeker read your thoughts.
Yeah. Do I get that feeling? Like, can I get the feeling that they're all encompassing?
It's more like it was written on your face. They weren't like literally reading your mind. You're a powerful mage. You would know if somebody was intruding into your mind.
The subtext is rapidly becoming text.
Yeah. Your intentions were just sort of like captioned in front of you.
All right, look. The world solved itself when Rosalinda made her oopsie. Isn't it about giving people a second chance? Isn't that kind of what the whole thing is right now? Maybe if she apologizes, I don't know.
I was going to say maybe would an apology video do? Maybe something with tears and a big sigh before she starts explaining herself.
Oh,
this is the hardest thing I've ever. No,
definitely, absolutely. I think there's still time for you to separate yourself from your friend and get out ahead of this. Her? I'm sorry. Are we just letting people apologize and return to public life with an oopsies? Have we learned nothing from the movement?
Worked for the Pauls. Just saying.
And do we recreate that now?
I feel like an elote truck, I feel like this particular gaff is a far lower bar of oopsie than a lot of things we've seen from other people who may or may not worship at our pantheon. More importantly, we've tried to separate ourselves from, or I've tried to separate myself from Rosalind. That is not a thing we get to do.
Yeah, she's got a point. Believe me, the last thing I want to do is deal with these distractions. I've got more than enough work to do. Don't look at me like that. You know what this is.
Seeker, I guess I'll address you in character since that's the rapport we've established. But you can start to feel the pressure of having not fully completed your duties yet. Just like 1% of like, why isn't this done? That vibe.
So, as you may have noticed, we are kind of tethered together by cosmic forces. So maybe you should let Rosalinda go, and you can be on your merry before you get wrapped in and can't leave either.
You think that works out for her? And I look to Stella. I think she's not going to get wrapped up in all of this. It's all in the family.
I think that we're fucked no matter what. Can I see that, by the way? And I point to the hammer. I just want to touch it.
Of course you do. Flip, flip, flip.
Can I?
Yeah.
hold
I
it up
flip
for
it,
her?
hold
Okay.
it by the head of the hammer and hold the...
Can I use my psychometry on it?
Yeah.
Psychometry?
Yep. It's mostly going to tell you like where it's been and what it's done in the past.
Yeah,
But-
I just want to get an idea of what it does.
Sure.
Grab this, yeah.
Okay, let's roll Bend Fate, but we need to pick your boons and banes ahead of time. You want your gift to do something beyond its normal limits. Analyzing a hugely magical artifact like this is, I think, within the scope there. Are there any other boons you would want, or do you want to double up on that one?
Yeah, just getting the scope. I figure it's gonna hurt if I fuck this up, which I sort of assume.
Okay,
But
so
I do
your
one thing
banes,
well.
you're willing to take harm.
I'm willing to take harm. I already have the one, and I think it was literally just from being in the wrong, behind the veil at the time that Lee showed up.
And if you have to take 2 banes, do you want to take that twice, or do you want another one?
I'm tempted to take Something Bad Finds You because I love that one,
I-
but that's effort on your part.
I think temporarily I'm going to restrict that option because you are in a bad situation now.
Hi, I'm something bad.
It just keeps getting worse.
I do
if
have an ability to that effect. Let's not make me use it.
Let's do. I'll take the harm, and I'll take Fate's disfavor. Why not?
Okay. Cool.
Ooh, double 4s. Rolling doubles does that give us?
That gets you a thread.
Yee! Okay, cool. Double 4, that's 8. Do I get any? What are we rolling with? Weird. Oh, I don't
This
have a good
is
one.
weird. Yeah.
I guess it's a 9.
Bah. Okay. Well, unless Lee imagines that he's able to assist in some way.
What were you doing specifically? I was looking something up. I'm sorry.
She was using Bend Fate. She's using her psychometry power, reaching out, making contact with the hammer. You're watching her try to perceive this hammer at a deeper level. You might be able to point out some of the, astral signatures or whatever nonsense Lee looks
Yeah,
at.
let's try to do a help. I have an idea about how I can help if it goes well. So let's do that.
Okay, so go ahead and roll plus the number of tangles that you have with Stella.
And I think I actually have 2 tangles with Stella. I think you're the only person.
So many.
Decent tangles. All right. That's a 5 on the dice plus 2 is 7. Oh, but I roll with Fate's Disfavor because of my Bane.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a 5 total.
Cool. So do you want to read what Provide Aid says on a 6-?
You make it worse and are exposed to the same danger.
Yeah.
We're doing so well, guys.
Okay. Now, you did get a 9. So, Stella, you get a boon and a bane. Your first boon, your psychometric ability, gives you some of the history of this hammer, but it's very recent history. It's not just this hammer absorbed your friend Rosalinda. Surprise, that's what happened. But you learn that it was like this magical item is less than 50 years old, which for most epic items and just things in creation, very few things are that young.
I mean, it's from the media pantheon, though, which is sort of, so that feels less weird considering it's a banhammer.
Although media has like co-opted and appropriated a lot of like devices and things from other bits of history. So
that's true. It's not like a sensor or anything.
Right. So this does seem to be uniquely young.
And as you hold it, I think since you get some of its past, you'll hear almost some whispers from in it. She doesn't even really like video games. What a poser. They're just doing it for attention.
Oh shit. Too real.
You have the sense that is
and
over and over.
Seeker, with that sense, would Stella also get the like, can we find somewhere else to talk vibe?
Off of the hammer, I think the hammer is the job.
Okay. That's a little more pure.
The hammer is the job.
Okay.
But they might.
Oh, wait a minute. I know how to incorporate that.
Yeah.
So first of all, Stella, you offered up either harm or taking Fate's Disfavor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have you take the harm as that like psychological. Does that seem fair? Like that's a pretty
very fair, very
harmful,
aggressively fair. I think it harmed Clara as well.
Yeah, me as well. Like it hurt prepping that. So, but Lee, you may recall you made it worse.
That's, subjective.
And are exposed to the same danger.
Sure.
Oh, you get wrapped up in the media mess.
But as you are reaching out to try and help, you maybe like put your hand on Stella's shoulder, and I'm gonna go ahead and have you stumble, take a knee, and when you let go of Stella, you were kind of overwhelmed with this like poser message, right? Which also might hit Lee in the feels a little bit for different reasons. You hear it in your dad's voice. But you also hear the voice that the Seeker is using. These with like when you let go of Stella and you're not touching Stella or the hammer and you're just in proximity of the Seeker, you hear this other like almost whispered plea. Seeker, how would you characterize the sound of that? What are these whispers coming to Lee?
My message isn't the media, is the message.
I'll look at Lee and gesture to Seeker. When Stella uses this particular ability, you can kind of see the outline of that third eye, but mostly she just sort of she mostly like that's so Raven disassociates for a second. Just turns her brain off, turns it back on.
Does she look at her own camera?
She looks directly at the camera and the thing comes up.
Yeah.
She does turn to Lee. I need a drink.
Lee's has taken a knee in the blasted grass area.
Yeah, that makes sense. I need a drink. Would you like to come? Did you introduce yourself? You said the Seeker.
Oh, so you heard me.
Is that what we're going to call you, Seeker?
That's what I am. That's what I do. And what are we beyond what we do?
I mean, I don't call myself Burnout, but sure, let's go.
Look, your branding is on you.
It is. I love it.
I'll mark 1 harm for the Herald.
I am the playbook you gave me.
I think there's some place nearby we can go.
Let's
Lee, are
play
you gonna
test
be
the
okay?
new
I can't
playbook,
drag
I
you.
said. It'll be fun, I said.
Lee, I can't drag you.
No.
I just looked down at this like.
Oh, I'm sure you can. Twitter has 280 characters now.
Joey got it. Yeah, I'll be fine. It's just, are you? I don't know.
Lee, what the Seeker had said, that whisper is echoing, maybe even the term is living rent free, and is it's as if the speaker is still whispering into your ear, but they're clearly not. They're not like causing anything to happen. It's just like, and it's only the right ear. It just feels very localized and distracting and disorienting.
Can I try to remove the filter so I can see the message that isn't media's message?
How do you want to do that?
With spellcasting, I'd like to maybe use spellcasting to communicate impossibly to get through the barrier.
Okay. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you that it's worth trying, but not here.
Got it. Okay.
There is fantastic 5G Wi-Fi everything.
I'm gonna. There's a local cafe situation down the street we can go to where we're not going to be standing, and also maybe we can talk over this with over a cup of coffee, like civilized demigods.
No, I think we should go somewhere off the grid.
Oh no.
You want to go to the cemetery, don't you?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be our best bet. To the mausoleum, nothing's gonna get through those brick walls.
Also recall, there is a room, right? There's a part of the cemetery that is Rosalinda's specifically. The rec room with the W.
Yep.
Any room I enter is a...
I get that sense from you. Fine, we're going, but we're going. It's fine. Let's go.
All right, we're going on a field trip. Come on.
Is that because you're going into a field?
I will walk away. I'll walk away, like not checking to see if anyone's coming with me. This is all fine.
Okay, so you all just walk further into the cemetery?
Are you still holding the hammer?
Well, you didn't let it go, so I think if you...
Okay, I had flipped it like head first to hold the handle, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm still holding it, Stella totally is the kind of person who forgets she's holding things all the time once the effect has happened.
Wonderful. Do you even like the field that you're going into? It wasn't even for that, was it? It was just because was what you thought would give you the most professional validation. It's what people said they liked. And so you followed that. That's so inauthentic of you. How can you even live with yourself? How can you even be in this space? Should you even be? Aren't there people who are more deserving? Who could use it better than you? Who could do more than you? You're just doing it for attention. You're just doing it for attention.
What?
Now, I do want to establish that the voice of the hammer is distinct from the voice of the seeker.
Oh, absolutely. Unfortunately for the hammer, I guess this is affecting her because of course it is, but this is basically Stella's self-talk anyway. She's not a happy person. She's just
It's almost like you hear your family's words in your head.
Yeah, she's doing that like, yeah, I know. Like, can't say it is affecting her, but like she does have this like vibe of like, can't say worse shit to me than I'm already dealing with. I've seen the articles. I died this morning, I think.
I mean, a little.
Someone said I died. I'm fine. Am I fine? I'm probably fine.
You're just exaggerating. You're making it a bigger deal than it is.
Why would you have this thing? Why would you make this?
Oh, I didn't make that.
So
it's part of the job.
Stella,
I carry it.
because you are somewhat inured to this horrific, toxic monologue, which, by the way, Sam, kudos, the player.
Aggressive.
It's awful, and I hate it, and it's amazing, and I love it.
This is the horror film that I'm here for. But Stella, I'm going to have you roll for taking grievous harm. However,
I'm already at 2 harm. I'm just going to throw that out there.
So this doesn't necessarily mean you'll take more, because you didn't literally take harm. I'm just taking a hard move against you. One, it's going to be a good idea to let go of the hammer. 2, I'm going to have you roll grievous harm with advantage. And you actually want to roll low on this. So when you roll advantage, keep the 2 lowest ones.
Cool. So just roll twice. Take the
roll
lowest
3
2.
dice if you have them.
They're very gay.
Yay.
Sorry. All right.
Why?
1 and a 2. Ha.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Then
Just
nothing
good, 'cause
worse
I have
happens. Just, on the harm, like you can feel yourself kind of passing through the realm of grievous, of like what this was trying to do to you, right?
I think feeling that and having that, you ever have that moment where you're like having bad self-talk and then part of you is like, why do I listen to this person?
Go away.
Go
and
away.
Never come back.
Yeah. She sort of has that like, this is more than usual. And like turns around with the hammer and turns back to Seeker and is like, why would you have this? Why would someone make this? And like hands it back to them.
Also, Stella, it may occur to you, what is it like to have to hold this all the time?
It's not that. I mean, I think deep down, like Stella's probably like, oh shit, like.
Yeah, it's fine if it's not at the top of
Yeah.
Stella's mind yet, but just let that roll around a little and.
It's not, although that train of thought is something that is too self-aware for her at this particular
I understand.
moment.
That's fine. I appreciate the
have
awareness as a player. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Why do I have this?
I'm
The monster media made me. I take it back. And when I take it back, it's like I put on a too heavy backpack again. And I just holster it. And I follow Lee toward this place with no signal.
Yeah, the mausoleum. It's pretty great. Really quiet.
It does get pretty excellent reception though.
Okay, so we're going to the mausoleum, though, not the rec room.
We should actually probably go to the rec room, which is far more private.
I'll just.
If that's okay.
Well, the
Yeah,
rec
I mean,
room
I
is
thought-
an
I thought the rec room
open
was part of the
field
mausoleum. Oh,
that everyone ignores.
Oh, right.
But
tent in it.
the mausoleum is a fair try too. It's actually, the mausoleum's probably closer technically, but I just wanted to establish that those are not the same thing, so I
Sorry.
want to
Yeah,
let you choose.
I thought the rec room was part of the mausoleum.
It's part of the cemetery, but not the mausoleum.
Okay, then yeah, we'll go to the rec room.
And for folks watching, the mausoleum is the picture below mine that's the actual picture of a Hollywood Forever Cemetery. So it's just that close corner of the mausoleum is a little bit crunched and is covered in like blue tarp, and there's cones. Is like restoration crews have been out during the days to try to put it back together. So
We had nothing to do with that, I swear.
how could you have?
Nope.
You were
seem
dead
I'm
at
sure
the
that
time.
won't come out 3 years later on the internet as an embarrassing revelation.
That seems
What was that?
about-
I didn't hear the whole thing.
I'm sure that won't come out on the internet in 3 years as an embarrassing revelation.
It would honestly be the most in track with my life ever. But yeah, the rec room, to my understanding, has a little tent in it too, just for like the vibes.
Mm.
Yeah, I think there's like
You
a little
anticipate
like
it getting
pavilion
intense?
tent thing, right? Or was it a camping tent?
No, I think it was like a camp, like a pavilion tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it should be a nicer tent than that. It's got beanbag chairs.
Yep. Okay, so you all cross through the cemetery, and there is a big flat section of grass that's maybe like, I think we said it was it's a little bigger on the inside. Like when you cross the boundary, you find yourself on maybe like half a football field, half a soccer field, whatever. So a good chunk of grassy area, and it's pretty clear. Like you can feel some of the mortal world blocked out behind you as you come in, and as you cross the border, you can see Rosalinda's pavilion set up, the beanbag chairs, the tables. There is a little like beer fridge where the plug has just been plugged into the soil of the ground, like just, and it appears to be operating. But
How's the signal here?
pretty bad.
Weirdly excellent. Is it bad?
Yeah.
A little bit. You want to put that down and maybe put your butt down? Seems like you've had a big day.
Yeah, just. Are you sure you don't want to take care of this? It's gonna turn into a pure nightmare.
Welcome.
And it looks like they are directing themselves to put down the hammer. It appears a little more yeet than I think they might first intend.
So, do you actually like toss the hammer away from you?
It's one of those like half-hearted, am I putting it down? Am I throwing, like, part of you wants to throw it, part of you wants to put it down, so it's putting it down but with more force than intended.
Yes.
Mhm.
Like a very heavy weight.
So I think the intention behind that,
Yeah, like after a floor press, just
Yeah.
like how those dumbbells go.
right? With the intention behind that, Seeker, I want you to roll Bend Fate. 2d6 plus weird,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah. 7.
Okay. So that's a boon and a bane. The boon. What are your gifts?
I have my banhammer.
Mm-hmm.
I have my epic shield.
Yep.
Which is, defense. And I have divine senses,
Okay. Great.
presumably for clout and for signal.
Okay. So to be clear, this your gift does something beyond its normal limits. Is you normally can't really set down the hammer. The fact that you can at all is what this, like, you've succeeded. right? But as a Bane, I'm gonna have one of your gifts is unusable for the scene, and it's your shield.
Yeah.
But also it's your facade. You know, the social veneer that we put up. Is
my masking is burning out.
Is somewhat cracked at the moment.
Love that. For just because it is a 7, I'd like to say this does not suspend the timer on that pressure cooker.
Okay.
That continues to tick.
Okay.
Through this scene.
Yep.
Urgency continues.
Unfortunately, you're with like the two of our weave that are the least likely to do things first and ask questions later. Welcome to all questions all the time.
Well,
right.
for our purposes, Seeker has winged the hammer. It looked like more difficult than it should be. Maybe that's why the extra force came out of it, like digs a furrow in the grass and, you know, thunks into place. Not unlike Mjolnir or Thank You, Grey Mjolnir.
It's like the opposite. Like Mjolnir's hard to pick up. Once you have a taste of this, it's hard to put down.
Yep.
That's valid.
Once you have these words in your ears, it's hard to get them to go away.
Yep. Okay. Well.
So I take it out and I immediately take out a Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
and
okay.
I just fire up some Pokemon. And I just am listening with an ear, but also just I'm having the best time and doing a thing I genuinely enjoy.
Yeah. Just take a beanbag and get to work.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Lee, Stella?
Yep. Feeling better?
I mean, work. Wow. Y'all really got on the wrong side. For a collab of all things, you're getting caught in a media swarm. You're about to have a hashtag about you.
Cool. Great. I haven't quite tried to understand what that is. So, listen, how do we resolve this? Because I just want to get on with my day. This was not part of the plan.
And cutting out Rosalinda is simply out of the question.
Then you're gonna need to reframe the question.
Is there any way it can be spun in a way that makes her look adorkable instead of just dumb?
Look, what's out there is out there, right? And that gets spun in ways beyond your control. The only thing you can control is how you react to it. I know how up there is feeling about it, but that's kind of the way of media, isn't it? Moment something goes wrong, gotta react strong, gotta react hard, probably gotta react negative because that's the easy way. And that's me. I'm here enforcing.
Do you like enforcing?
So, hi, enforcing. I'm Dad. Sorry. Sorry. This is a tone break. Seeker, you are explaining some of this, and you actually have a moment of that, that buzzing pressure. It's it's still on, but it's the speaker is pointed away from you. Right, so you're aware of it in the room.
I'm trying not to get the eye of Sauron back on me, so I'm seeing how close I can get them to figuring it out on their own.
Right.
Because if I break it too hard, I mean,
and Stella,
I don't know what would happen.
You have this the buzzing of like 5 big energy drinks in your chest, like full size, and this promise of you could be the one who decides what goes and what stays. You could be the one. Why shouldn't it be you?
That's because I don't react well to it. I have a thought.
Okay.
It may have died of loneliness, but it is there. The only thing that can unseat a scandal without the person just digging themselves deeper into the Twitter storm anger it could be a bigger scandal, yeah?
That's certainly a thing that people can do. I mean, it certainly works with the ebb and flow of our pantheon. You're certainly working with the system.
So what if someone just fucks up harder?
I mean, that keeps me in work. And I look over to Lee, who had asked me whether I enjoy this job. Keeps me in work.
Stella, where Seeker threw down the hammer, and it landed and the handle was pointed at Seeker because of what, like they threw it down. And when you glance over at it, it's almost like it is twisted in the ground because the handle of it is pointed at you.
I flip it off.
What's that?
I flip it off.
Okay.
The way you do when you're annoyed with something and can't really do anything about it.
Okay. I am going to take a hard move and ask you to roll Pierce the Veil.
Oh, hell yeah.
That means I'm going to use up one of your questions, but a 6- will also not be catastrophic.
Oh, good, because I'm not rolling great today. Yeah, I see. If I had the choice, I'd pierce the veil constantly and just have like the low-lying passive pierce. But
is it a veil? Is it a cheesecloth? You decide.
Well, the good news is I get a thread. The bad news is it's snake eyes.
Aha. Okay. What
were you saying, that like it won't be catastrophic failure?
Well, on a 6-, you still ask one question and prepare for the worst. So, I said I'm going to use up one of your questions. So this is your one question, is what I'm giving you.
That's
right?
fine.
But you are being given the opportunity to take Seeker's place. I think that was clear to you. I think the problem with the way you're perceiving this is all of the negative connotations are fuzzier, right? Like, you, the player, I'm sure, are pretty aware of, like,
this is a shit job and you shouldn't take it.
Right? But right now, the things that are up front are, like, the power, the access, the availability, the attention, the voice, the control. All of that is like just flickering across the front of your mind. And you can do it. You're not being compelled to do anything, right? You can make all your own choices based on information you have, but that there is a continued message.
I just sort of look back down at the hammer. It's one of those, like, when there's like something you're not supposed to look at, so you're just like, or sort of like when you're not supposed to be checking your phone.
Yeah. Oh, I think also a consequence is that you're not being very subtle about this. So I'm going to ask Lee. You see Stella flip off the hammer and then look back at it. I think we've got a little bit of the, like, second girl meme, walking the other way. Lee, what's your instinct in this situation?
No, absolutely not. Are you kidding? No, I am not spending the rest of my life telling you this bullshit.
Lee,
So, yeah.
roll 2d6 plus judgment, please.
Okay.
I'm feeling very judged right now.
Plus judgment, that is an 8.
8?
Yes, 8.
Okay, so I'm going to use up one of your questions.
Okay.
And the answer is you could make him hear you. And is that handle pointed at you? What question would you like to ask? And you know exactly who he is, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely. How can I get this thing to leave us alone?
Well, it is operating on a fixed rule set. It's actually not that like fuzzy or amorphous. Like there's a really like strictly established set of rules that if
like a
you
script.
could change, operate outside of, or obey and subvert, it's just the problem you're in is you don't actually understand what the rules are. Right? But like you can see the like rule book and flip through the pages and there's charts and tables and you roll 1d10 plus 1d8 for this and like why? What is that? So yeah, you have this like really clear understanding that there is a finite like understandable rule set here, but you don't understand what the rules are. But someone might.
Okay. I'm going to get down on Seeker's level.
Yep. Seeker's still playing their Switch, like in the middle of a Pokemon battle, and I think they're just whispering to themselves, why would someone do this if they didn't enjoy it?
I'm going to need you to explain this to me like I'm 5.
Oh, I know that. That's an internet thing.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
What's this?
We don't want this. We want things to go back to the way they were.
Right.
How do we get this hammer to give us our friend back and send it on its merry? You can go with it. You can stay with us if you want. I don't really care. I just want this part of my day to be over.
Sorry, when you say back to the way they were, are you talking about before or after my sister messed up a ley line too?
I'm not being picky at this point. Ideally, I'd like to go pre-ley line, but you know what? I can probably solve that one myself.
Seeker, have you ever considered the possibility that there'd be a way to not have to go back to the Pantheon?
Stop talking like that. Why would you say something like that? You know I can't.
What if you didn't have to?
Yeah, but I do, so shut up.
No, you really don't. Believe me, if
Oh.
anybody knows about pissing off and disappointing their creators, it's us. You're your
That
own
is
person.
true. We are a lot of disappointment and a Rosalinda.
Yeah, but you're demigods.
Then what are you, if not a demigod? You have all the stink of media on you.
What's the difference between the hero and the Gorgon?
Sorry, the hero and the what?
The Gorgon.
One of us really pissed off a god.
And the other?
Mostly was just lucky enough to come out of their loins, I assume.
Oh, see, I see it the other way. One of them pissed off the god, and the other was sent to remind them not to piss off gods. I get sent places. I do stuff. I'm the threat. that they send to keep all of you in line. It's not about what I want to do. It's what I was made to do. I'm the monster media maid.
Well, if media can make one monster, they can make another.
Oh, you think there's just one of me?
Well, then if there's more than just one of you, then why not let them take care of it?
Lee, you like hitch mid-sentence as you're launched into a vision of your dad hugging you, the third dad, saying, "I'm sorry, son. I didn't understand, but I see you, I hear you, and I validate your life choices." And then you come back to your sort of sentence having like fallen apart at the end of like what were we, like you can react however you want, but
all right, that's not fair. I don't know. That's not fair.
Yeah, it's always someone's attention, right?
So fairness in this economy? Absolutely not.
Yep. So that's why I'm here. I find people who are just using the media for attention seeking, and I remind them not to do that. And to denounce and shun and separate from those who do.
Okay. I have a isn't any sort of on camera work a bit attention seeking anytime you're going to get in front? And on top of that, is there anything technically wrong? I'm gonna actually roll for this. Can I roll sway someone?
No, you don't have to.
well, we'll go ahead and roll sway
it's not
someone.
Contested.
What was that, Sam?
It's not contested.
Oh no, I know
where Stella's about to go with it. Secret does
no,
not
it wouldn't be contested anyway. But we should measure the strength of the argument, like how well Stella expresses herself.
It's not good, by the way.
Well,
it never is.
It's plus.
That's not for you to say. That's the dice.
And it is, and Seeker is going to go along with your argument, but it's also about Stella.
Yeah.
It's also she's not trying to convince Seeker specifically in so much as she's sort of trying to convince the universe, because
maybe herself a little bit,
and definitely maybe herself.
Definitely maybe.
Yeah, Stella personally has a lot of conflict with the concept of attention.
Yeah.
In general.
And the media pantheon, who would have thought?
Yeah.
A child of influencer, who would have thought?
But yeah, can I roll sway someone and just sort of
yeah go ahead
see
and
how
roll,
bad I messed that up?
Roll plus awe.
Okay, that's a 10. I can do math.
Is it?
Yes, it's a 10. Holy shit.
Okay.
My best roll is for self-talk.
All right, so the well, for now we'll apply this to Seeker as well, but Lee and Seeker, if so, Stella, can you give us the line again?
Mostly that sometimes seeking attention isn't a bad thing.
Okay, so if
if
that feels like something we can go along with, feel free to take a thread and +1 forward while working on a plan that would help establish that fact.
Yeah, I would definitely see that, because I'm trying to get my dad's attention to make him see that he's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It's good attention.
Yeah, Lee, this is just in time too, because it comes in the, like, you were trying to be served an image of the regret and horror you would feel when this, like, if by some, it's hard to imagine how, but if the hammer was destroyed in some way, and the opportunities you would lose in trying to connect with your divine father. So, but this like bolsters you against that.
Good.
And Seeker, you were ready and willing to go. But
yeah,
you still
because
get your thread.
Seeker's playing on the Switch, and just like looking at that and not even making eye contact with Stella. It's just that, and is like, yeah, attention isn't intrinsically bad at all. Aren't we social beings who seek attention from each other as part of interacting and sharing together?
Exactly. It's empathy
Isn't
building.
attention seeking perfectly natural and good and to the point?
Seeker, you receive a jolt of something like electricity. I need you to roll Grievous harm.
Oh, I would love to.
But you have technically taken 0 harm, so you don't have to add anything, but you do want to roll low.
5.
Okay, that's great. You have that sensation of like an electrical jolt, and I don't know if it makes you lose your place in your game or what, but like I think the Pokeball
I think
goes
the Pokemon
wide.
gets away. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Pokemon gets away, and I lose my train of thought there because that's not okay. Don't say that out loud. No.
Yeah, you
Having seen that,
you made the inside words outside, and
So nope. I just
and you are
I
aware
just
that
do this for myself, and if people happen to engage with it, that's great. And definitely, no one has ever gotten secondary gain from interacting with the media, and it's important that we all continue to portray that.
having seen that, I have a dumb idea that I would like to do.
I also have a dumb idea that I would like to do.
Well,
Oh,
why
this
don't
is
you try
fantastic.
this first?
well, hold
I
on.
think
I wish I could hear both of them at once so you don't influence each other.
What if I just message you?
Yeah, would both of you do a private message to me on Zoom, and and then I will reveal the plans because this is fun for me. I don't like table secrets for the most part because I think it's more fun to everyone participate in whatever's going on. But
sometimes dramatic irony is fun.
yes, yeah. If this sets up something like particularly juicy, that would be lovely. Okay. All right.
Sort of before.
I'm using a thing from Clara's playbook.
Mm.
Well, I'll tell you when you read it out loud.
Clara's playbook?
Well, the second part of that statement is a superpower I have.
Okay.
That and talking on the phone to people.
Okay. These are actually really distinctly different. Lee, you can kind of do your thing without involving or like consulting anyone.
Yeah,
So
and that's the plan.
let's do that first.
Okay. Do you want me to say what it is before I do it, or do you want me just to roll and then say
Well,
what happens?
let's say what is physically observable. Lee approaches the hammer.
Yep. And puts a hand out to the hammer. Maybe looks like he's gonna grab it, but instead starts twisting the magic that's around in the rec room to try to disengage the hammer. I'm trying to neutralize its effects. I'm trying to get it effectively, magically yeet it into orbit.
Okay.
Because I'm done. Lee's done. Okay, that one rolled out. All right, that is an 8 on the dice. And counterspell uses judgment. That's a 9.
Okay. So the effect is shut down for the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And what I would like to describe this is a sphere, maybe even like more of an egg shape, but the hammer itself is like woven in. What does this energy look like that sort of spins around it?
Yeah, it's very it actually is taking the form of like a phalanx formation of shields.
Oh, okay.
Of magic, so it's very wispy, but has it catches the light, has a sheen to it, but it's encasing it.
Sure.
So
I
it can't-
also love the notion of like a ringing, like metal on metal clang, as it as you finish the spell and it like solidifies
Very
into
that.
place. And Seeker, you are so off balance. Like
Comments are
lightheaded.
turned off for this post.
It is like it's like feeling high. I don't know if you're familiar. Like it's just like fuzzy and lifted and like like I don't you may not ever remember feeling like this.
No, I've never not had. What? Huh?
Fuck that hammer.
Genuinely, fuck that hammer.
Look, I don't know you. I don't really
That's
know
my
you all that
purse.
well. But fuck that hammer. You're your own person. Make some decisions of yourself.
And Stella, what did you want to say?
Do you want to know my plan?
Yeah, I mean, part of it involves conversation, I think, with Seeker.
It does.
So,
who do you report to specifically? Who sends you places? It's not like, is it like big mom media or is it like
I mean,
someone in particular?
yeah, I'm just part of the comment section.
That's one of our aspects, isn't it? I'm trying to remember.
that is, yeah, the
One of our
comments
celebrants?
is the celebrant of it's my goddamn thing.
What did you write?
Sam, do you remember?
No, offhand, not offhand. I just, if I'm trying to think of like, what are the furies of the media? It's the comments.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's not the warrior of the Pantheon, but it's sorry everybody. I didn't think to have the document for the Pantheon we're dealing with today open.
I'm just pulling it up now.
Right. The comments is most analogous to the elemental, because it's cold and hot, mean and nice. It's a physical manifestation of many different voices.
So there's like the comments as an abstract thing, and then there's like comments. And there are different tropes within comments. Like first
Yeah.
is a comment, not like the comments.
Yeah.
And so I am they're just doing it for attention comment from the section.
Yeah.
And so we do, I suppose, in a sense, report to the original poster.
I would like to speak to your manager. I'm from the Midwest. I can do this. Stella's from the Midwest.
Are you sure?
At this point, yeah, because it sounds like something's very confused within. I understand that whatever's happening here is an archetype, but they're wrong, essentially, 100%. We can all agree, we have just agreed that attention seeking is a natural part of our existence. And frankly, none of us should be punished, especially as children of media. And as Stella says that, she's sort of like talking to the air the way you kind of like when you're talking to God. Should not specifically be attacked for that, even if it was dumb as hell.
I mean,
yeah.
Look, if you want, and I look over to the comments, which are currently, to the hammer, which is currently like in moderation, being held in the moderator queue for a moment. Look, if you want media to pay attention. Don't have a private conversation. Take it public.
Oh, we can. There's something inherently incorrect with I don't want to make a Twitter thread about this, but there's something inherently incorrect with this particular position you are taking, or at least your embodiment is taking. Not to say that I gestured to them, are invalid, but more that your job is.
Think about what kind of monsters are made by the media. How monsters are we?
I'm aware, and we're going to have one less. Okay, so here's my question to the Herald. What role do I use to talk to the manager?
Well, this is an option that is based on the fact that you're at your spindle right now, because your spindle so it's sort of flipped. All right, what we would look at normally as ascendance moves are the spindle's death moves, because if it does one of these things 3 times, the spindle is having an issue. Whereas if the spindle deals with death, like it can deal with death 3 times as its ascendance moves, right? It's a little wonky, but one of the spindle's death moves is to summon an actual full-on deity to its location. Now, whether you want to do that or not is worth thinking about, particularly as we take our 5-minute break. So, sorry, we blew right past our halftime there, but we are going to take a brief break, everyone. Thank you so much. Also, don't let the mean voices tell you who you are. They're wrong. You are lovely. We love you, and we will see you soon. We'll be right back.
Never read the comments. Read the comments.
Precisely. All right. See you soon. Hello and welcome back. My name's Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. I'm here with Sam playing the Seeker, Joey playing Lee, the Arcane, and Clara playing Stella, the Celestial. And we have just resolved all of the internet's problems with image and presence and diversity, and we're done. We fixed it. Everybody? Nope, none of that's true.
High fives around, we go home.
We are, unfortunately, missing our warrior. Pooja was not able to join us today, and Minerva was also not able to join us, but Minerva had set up quite a moment from the last episode, 2 or 3 spectacularly failed rolls, which really we don't call fails in Demigods, we just call them 6 minuses, because the story still proceeds, just not in the direction you were hoping. In my opinion, good PBTA is the 6 minus, 7 and 9, and 10 plus are about who has the most narrative control. 10 plus, the player has most of it. 7 and 9, it's in the middle. And on a 6 minus, the Herald gets most narrative control. But it's still not, 100% fiat. Sometimes it's Rabbit or an Esprit. Thank you.
I mean, I take away from it that if you roll poorly enough, I show up in your game.
I'm
the punishment.
will only pray for steak eyes for the rest of my life. It's fine.
Oh.
Just Insta-Sam. Here for
You
it.
say that, and then I will pun, and then you will remember why it was a thing in the first place.
You know, I've accepted this part of my fate. I've just accepted it all around. I have friends with punsters, and I've done something in a former life to deserve it, I assume.
Yep, you're packed of punishment.
All right.
So let's see what we can do about this.
To reset our scene a little bit, Lee has successfully blocked off the hammer. It is temporary, and I think we're already starting to see one of the shields tarnish, almost like it's in somewhat fast motion time lapse. So we're seeing it just the beginning of one of the shields is a little less shiny. Maybe it's going to crack soon, but there's a lot of you made like a bunch of little shields. You made a little, like you said, a phalanx, kind of turtle shell type thing, and that gave us the opportunity to speak with Seeker on a much more personal and frank basis because they were being overtly manipulated by the presence of the Shadow Banhammer. I think it was Grey Day that named it Mjolnir,
Yes.
which is just the hammer of your fears. That's very good. And as a hammer that lies to you, it's also the Shammer. I think that was also Grey Day. So
I like the Shammer.
yeah, Shammer. Wow. But
That shamrocked.
yeah. But Stella had approached Seeker with an idea about speaking to management. Seeker has proposed a plan about maybe sort of like meeting media on her own turf. A media's turf, not Seeker.
That was clear from front.
Right. So I leave it to you all. I have no horse in this race.
My proposition, if you will. No one on the internet. What is the most solid confirmation on the internet of one's mental superior and moral superiority than a live streamed debate in which none of the rules of debate are ever followed? And I'm gonna go down a bad rabbit hole if I pay attention to that, because that's a Clara problem, not a Stella problem. But yes, I feel like if we're going, the problem is not the hammer. And Stella points again to the phalanx. The problem is that the system is broken. At least this particular part of it, yes? Joey, you're on mute.
I mean, hardware mute.
Yeah, I didn't think there'd be a pantheon more fucked up than mine, but yeah, I would say that's a bigger problem.
Touche. I just feel like this is going to continue being a problem because, as Seeker, you eloquently pointed out, you're not the only one. We should get rid of it at the source, which I guess is Big Mommy Media.
So you want to kill media?
I mean, okay, don't put words in my mouth, but I'm not saying,
Saying that, Lee, one of the shields on the hammer just like poing, like flies off.
That's not a good sound.
Like,
It's not like killing media. That's all books, all film, all everything. That's more than, we just need to change the conversation.
redirect the narrative.
Establish
Although
new norms.
Yeah, I do entertain the thought of patricide every once in a while. And then Stella just gets lost in that for a moment.
Seeker looks down to their Switch with their Pokemon that wouldn't exist anymore if media were dead.
mm-hmm. Well, and also, as is the case with deities in general, they don't tend to stay dead.
Right.
Because
No, but it would be a lot of time without Pokemon.
yes.
And I don't want to be in that world.
Oh, take care, Blue Troller, Minerva, who couldn't be with
love
us
you.
today.
Yeah.
We'll
We will get you out of this.
very much look forward to your return when we're back in 2 weeks.
So let me try to suss something out real quick. Rosalinda got trapped in a banhammer because she was being an attention seeker and using media to garner attention.
Yeah.
So media's response was to send a Charlton Heston-esque weather thing down to deal with that. Therefore, trying to garner our attention by using media.
Oh, logic's a totally different pantheon.
I know.
Those powers are not.
But why not fight media where they're not the strongest?
I just lean into Stella. Where aren't we the strongest?
I have absolutely no idea. And
I mean,
could see
like,
multiple
wouldn't it be
worlds.
easier to fight a Gorgon in a Hall of Mirrors?
I think I understand what you're getting at. I have two propositions in response. The first being that Rosalinda and my parent is literally the person who is literally an avatar of attention seeking. Somewhat. Either we can call in a reinforcement, or where is a place where media would have no influence?
Just as a little bit of background, I don't know how much I'd explain this, but the media celebrants, the comments and influencer and all of those are independent entities, but also facets of media in the way that in Christian faith, many Christians think Jesus was God, and the Son of God, was both. These celebrants are independent offshoots of media and are media, and so it may get complicated.
Media is a plural term.
Yes.
Even though we refer to media in a sort of singular
and
manner.
there is a singular...
The word itself has a sort of clover aspect to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, there is a singular
situation.
personified being called media, and there are, a couple dozen celebrants who are all focused on particular aspects of media, but whether those are direct, just different faces of the same person or much more independent beings is not totally clear.
So if we beat up one, we beat up them all. Cool.
Or by
minus
challenging
one
one, you challenge the whole concept.
You don't want to get into it with AM radio.
They've been through some shit.
They've
They
seen
are
some
some
So, what else? I mean, my plan, the only thing I can think of is to convince media they're wrong. And as we've said, shift the paradigm. It would help if we knew what the algorithm wanted.
Oh. The ways of the algorithm are mysterious.
Fortunately for you, very little is mysterious to me. Just annoying. And is that a thing would that be within my rights to roll a Pierce the Veil for that?
Pierce the Veil, no. Unless you could get to the source of the algorithm.
Do you have access to the algorithm? Or at least part of it?
BRB going to Google Campus.
I mean, right. They're sort of like, are we talking the platform specific, or are we talking about the abstracted? I mean, it's the force in our pantheon.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the algorithm flows through all.
Yes.
I mean, really what we are looking to is effectively to alter the warp and weft of the media landscape through influencing the algorithm. I guess in this specifically for Rosalinda, deplatforming Scandal and accusations about it.
Sure. And then the other approach that was discussed at one point was like spinning it so that what she did was not a scandal at all. So one, we could say
your friend.
It's fine to have a scandal. Two, we could say it wasn't a scandal, right? Like I think those are the two main arguments that are being bandied about.
Yeah, option one is that wasn't against the rules because I changed the rules. Option two is it actually wasn't that bad of a misstep.
Right.
Yeah. So we can either play loophole, we can play loophole foo, and we can try to find a hole, which frankly I feel like Lee's great at. And or we can, I guess, make it seem like it wasn't a problem.
What if we just remove it?
What,
Remove
the
scandal.
algorithm?
No.
Oh, remove the. You want to go back in time and make and remove the scandal, don't you?
No. I don't really want to go back in time again. Or
Well,
forward in
now.
time. Forward is fine. Backward is weird. I want to try to take the evidence of the scandal and remove it from social media.
You want to delete every post.
I would like to, so meta keep Harold. I'd like to try to use spellcasting to hide something, which is I would like to hide the evidence of this scandal or hide the scandal from media's attention.
Sure. That I'm not saying no.
Sure,
But I would
it's
like to
it's a big-
reframe.
yeah.
I'd like to reframe what you're asking.
Sure.
Is you would like to subvert the nature of an entire pantheon and its existence with a spell.
Sure.
Which I think requires some steps, right? Like,
Sure, yeah.
maybe access to some sort of like core media holy site, or
relic?
something else. But like, I think we would need something to get us from here to there. I'm open
Sure.
to suggestions, but I don't think one arcane's spell is enough to.
No, I know it's a big ask. I know
Well,
it's a
But
big
I'm not
magic.
saying it's impossible.
Right.
I'm just we need some extra pieces.
Aren't we right by the Paramount lot?
In fact, we are.
Media holy site?
I mean, Hollywood Forever is also kind of a media holy site, considering everyone who's buried here.
Yeah, but it can't be that the Hollywood Forever can't because it's your spindle now.
Well, Paramount is literally across the street, so we could just do that.
Yes, it
Right.
is.
That, yeah.
If we're going, if I these are all kind of the same plan, just somewhat different steps. Lee's good at books, just in general. You're big fat nerds, so why don't we just? I mean, if you're looking, if we can figure out the rule set, you may be able to, I don't know, lawyer it. I don't know what you do on a regular basis, frankly.
I know. Even though I've told you extensively.
I mean, I know the rules. I am the rules.
Okay, so
But I've
what-
never tried to like figure out what they are out loud. I always just kind of knew them.
Yeah,
So-
and now that you're not in contact with the hammer, you're like having this ability to see yourself from without.
Like, yeah, it's their ability to like articulate the rules, I guess, maybe.
Sure.
I mean, the big difference is they can have feelings about the rules and they couldn't before.
Yeah. What do you have any moves that would feel like on topic?
Mm.
And I'm open to interpretation because it is a piece of paper in play test.
No, all of my moves are much more of Seeker's moves with the hand. Like their moves are their job. I have moves that set people upon each other and that summon others to set upon.
What if you had to apply the rules of your job to the hammer?
I mean,
Can we get the
could
hammer
never-
canceled?
Is
Yeah,
the
who
hammer the
moderates the
job or are
moderator?
you the job?
Sorry, Stella. I'm talking to the person who runs this game that we're in. And
Madness.
lots of powers. I mean, could I do that? Could I use my powers on the hammer, on an object?
probably depends on what the power's designed to do.
Is that a way powers work, Lee?
Yeah. Magic wise, it's all about intention and focal point and your need to alter a target.
Lee, did you just explain how magic works?
I absolutely did, which I'm going to take a thread.
Okay. Everybody double check your take a thread lists.
Do I have this?
Oh, Seeker, I don't know if we have your list yet.
I don't think I do.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I think I'm actively in the process of
actually.
presenting a news perspective.
Oh, no, you have. You have. Go ahead and mark it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, as long as you know what you want to do and are able to do it and believe that you can do it, magic's endless. The possibilities are endless. The possibilities are endless.
Lee,
Dad. Yeah.
roll metal, please.
Yeah. Oh, metal? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, not that one apparently. That's
So
a
much of-
3 total.
Okay, that's bad.
Yeah, it sure is. I don't even know what it's for yet.
One of the magical shields poings off of it again and hits you for 1 harm.
Okay.
Do you have armor?
I do now because I got an advancement when Clara gave us all a thread, and I took epic armor as my advancement,
Oh, okay. Great. Then that absorbs the hit.
which ironically is now I basically just reinterpreted the spell that I used to block the hammer, and now if I epic armor is one of those shields deflects. So
Yeah.
that small shield is deflected by another small shield.
Okay. Yeah. You just like pushed back as it ricochets off you and just flies into the air, but yeah, you can feel it like it's responding to you.
Oh, good. All right, whatever we're gonna do, we should do it quick because this thing's coming back. Roll good.
In the grass where Seeker dropped it, which is also like kind of a dirt furrow at this point, there are little, almost as if like, so I'm saying like little like jagged black lines, as if like if a comic book artist had drawn where this hit glass or something, right? It's that in the ground. It looks surreal because that's not what grass and dirt do. But those are, you just hear this like as this like extends a little bit from under the shield that you built.
So whatever we're gonna do, we need to do it quick.
Can you move that without touching it? We can't. If we're gonna do this, we can't touch it.
Can I? Not based on any of the spells I have.
We can kick it.
I mean, I can. I have an idea to like try that, but you know, in kind of the wibbly PBTA kind of way.
That's been this whole game.
Moving
Well,
it isn't an effect of one of my spells. Like I don't have a movement effect.
Well, one thing, Lee, I would let you try is we could wibbly wobbly the restrict movement
Right.
effect. But Seeker, if you want to try something, that's okay too. I'm open to suggestions.
I would probably just roll some weird for the prince like don't feed the trolls.
Uh-huh.
Don't touch the poop.
Yeah.
Since these voices are going to follow us, they're going to follow anyone in media. The hammer is going to follow us. If we don't touch the poop, if we don't feed the trolls, if we follow a media principle that works with another media principle, can the hammer follow us as voices do without us feeding it because we're not supposed to. Media told us.
Yeah, if we just walk away from it, will it follow us?
Just get really abstract and like wibbly.
I love this so much.
It is possible that we could make that work. It will require someone's focused intention to make it do that. So Seeker, if you have a move that you wanted to employ, we could try that, or Lee could try spell casting with that sort of guidance in mind.
Cool. So what if I like provide aid onto your spellcasting, Lee?
I'm open to that.
Because like, you know.
Okay.
I have this hammer is everything to me.
All right. Well, let's let Lee roll in case he gets the 10 plus on his own.
Mm-hmm. Right. I always forget how we declare for this. Good.
Nope. That is a 5 on the dice plus 2 is a 7.
Okay. So let's see. So a 10 plus on the help roll could get you to a 9.
Right.
So I would say
so
it's probably mechanically there isn't a benefit to rolling help at this point.
Wait, don't we have a +1?
You're right, we do.
So I could get
used.
it to a 10.
Yes. Yeah, if you get a 10 plus on your provide aid.
Yeah. Okay.
Sam, before you roll, are there any relationships on the any tangles on the monster playbook that you feel like you could apply to Lee?
Let's see. Interesting. So no, but let me tell you the tangle that I have observed in these moments. That the thing that most drives us, our pantheon, that most drives me as the seeker of attention seekers. I came here looking for a member of my own pantheon, a member of the media who had been committing attention seeking. I found Lee, and I don't think there's anyone in here who wants attention from someone more. It's just not in the media way. It's just different.
Lee, does that feel like a fair interpretation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Sam, let's go ahead and roll provide aid with it's just 2 dice plus 1.
All right. Okay.
I believe in you.
Yeah. 9.
Plus 1, right?
Because you also get a +1.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. The plus 2, then, as you forego the thread by taking the plus 2 option, but you can get a plus 2 to their roll. So, Lee, that takes you to the 10. Everyone has contributed to this moment because the plus 1 was from Stella's argument, and then Seeker's relationship with Lee and starting to understand each other, and Lee's just right on the edge, understanding of how this magic works. Lee, I believe you wanted to make use of we're repurposing restrict movement.
Right.
We're restricting its lack of movement.
Yes.
Okay. That's a type of movement.
Funneling its movement to follow us.
Okay. So on a 10 plus, you get 2 effects and 1 cost. You don't need to cast the spell instantly. We're not in that kind of like time frame.
No.
But if there's something else on there you want,
I would like to reveal a secret.
Reveal a secret. Okay. Do you have a topic or genre in mind that you would want? I mean, it's almost certainly related to the hammer, how the hammer works, what the hammer knows.
Basically, I want to know exactly
This is not the hammer.
which part of the algorithm is holding Rosalinda. Like, what part of the algorithm is the issue that if we change could free us up from this net bullshit?
Okay. And
Can I take a
what?
stab?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Sam.
Engagement.
Oh,
It's engagement with negative content by the accusation, and then comments about the accusation, and then debating whether or not it's valid. It feeds on itself, and that is what the algorithm wants.
it's the Ouroboros of media.
That, you starve the oxygen out of the conversation, then the algorithm doesn't push that content anymore.
It'll push the
It's not
content to the
printed.
bottom. Yeah.
Ironically, it is empowered by the attention paid to attention-seeking behavior.
I thought
And
of
whether-
the worst solution for that. which
Okay,
is
well,
so
hold on.
stupid.
Lee, what cost are you willing to pay? There's
Let-
always a cost with spellcasting.
Of course there is. You know what? Because we haven't made this, any more difficult than it could be. Let's draw unwanted attention.
Cool.
Never has there been such a perfect cost.
Okay. Unwanted
Right?
attention.
How do I not pick that?
You have the ability to you are aware that when you move a certain distance from the hammer, it will just sort of drag itself closer to the three of you. The three of you need to stick together for this to work. But Dorkloid Canada,
Yep.
you are a treasure, sir. I treasure you. You are good and right and true. That's... Wow. I'm sorry.
You're just basking in that.
I need a second. Like,
It took me a moment. I was like, why is this? Oh,
yeah.
the snake
Yeah.
that eats its own tail.
Yeah. The story tail, not end of your butt tail.
Aggressive.
Oh, okay. I've recovered for the most part. I don't know that I ever will fully, but I
Do you need a cigarette? What's going on here?
kinda, yeah. Okay, so you and I think all three of you are aware that you are the sort of oxen, right? Like if the three of you move together, this thing will like sort of like rumble and follow you. And you did you have a destination? You're trying to get over to Paramount, right?
Right. We want to get in front of, probably get onto a stage, because the more cameras there are, the more that empowers anyone in the media pantheon.
Yeah. Excellent.
Just waltz onto a soundstage.
I mean, basically, yes.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
We could foxtrot, if you'd prefer.
You know what? I'll take a salsa. We're good.
The three of you start walking towards the edge of the rec room, the field that is called the rec room. It's not an actually enclosed space. It is still, what was it, like late morning when
It was
this
like noon.
Yeah, it's like
started off?
noonish.
Yeah, it is maybe 1 p.m. And the three of you all like at the same, like in the same step, you're like, oh, okay, and you lean into it and start pulling this thing with you. And as you approach the edge of the field, you still have the weight of this thing that you're dragging behind you, but it becomes lighter as this shadow like slips through the grass between your feet and slithers out beyond the edge of the rec room and is, well, you all tell me, is the Paramount Studio, is it across the street that the elote truck is in, or are we at a new street from the cemetery? Totally your choice. I don't mind either way.
Sorry.
I'd say opposite street, because think about how Paramount is gonna like kind of be a bit of a jerk to make sure their street has like street parking available for people coming in.
Copy
so
that.
I feel like it's the opposite.
Okay.
It's
so
the other one.
This is then, I think this is an area of the cemetery that's a little bit remote, but you're kind of up on a little bit of a hill, and you can see the gate to Paramount just right down the hill, maybe 100 yards away. Not even that, like 70 yards maybe. But just on the outside of the barrier of the rec room, you see this shadow slither out, and it's almost like it came from under something, and it rises up, and you are starting, this sort of amorphous shadow figure is starting to, have y'all seen, okay, colonialist appropriative nightmare, Fern Gully?
Sure.
The oil monster that like drags itself out of the engine of destruction in the rainforest.
I almost showed my whole slip and said the sexiest Tim Curry, but that's incorrect and also very weird.
Yeah, that's not the sexiest Tim Curry. But
another stream.
it is this like it is a shadow. It's not. It doesn't look like oil, but it has a like kind of a sheen to it, like a black glassy kind of sheen. And with just a glance over your shoulder, you can see like the hammer is magical and weighty and important, and you can actually see kind of the image of Rosalinda more clearly in the side of the hammer, but the kind of shadow of it is gone and is pretty clearly just flitted out in front of you and is standing between you and Paramount.
Studio lawyers.
So it is not currently stepping over the barrier to get into the rec room. You could invite it in if you want, or you can step out to meet it. Yeah.
If we want to engage in a space where media cannot be accessed, the rec room is the best place for that, I think. If we want the opposite, where we want eyes on it, we have to continue on to Paramount.
That means taking care of this then.
We are down everyone who cares to hit things. Well, I look at Seeker. How do you feel about hitting things?
Seeker pulls out the shield that, while they were sitting, was not charged, not active. I think almost from the relaxation they had of being, for the first time, themselves. But they have gone into action, it has charged up, and they strap this shield on. And the shield, of course, is moderation.
As in moderators, not medium consumption.
Although both would be useful.
Okay.
Let's find out.
Seeker, do you want to charge the Shadow Beast?
Seeker is going to step out of the field, but not act yet, because a shield, like, normally they would hit things with their band hammer. Normally they would hit things.
Yep.
They're going to do what I learned in fighting terms is called a draw counter. You let them charge at you, adding velocity to a nice little F equals MA.
Yes. And that is
draw counter into the shield.
Precisely what happens when you the moment that you step out. This thing, it kind of moves in a really like weird, sort of like sideways, not because of any physics, you know, it just like and leaps at you. So I'm gonna say there's 2 harm coming. Now if this is this an epic shield, like an actual like protective thing? Okay, so shields normally they block 1 harm and they have a special ability of some kind. Do you have a sense of what you want the special ability to be?
Well, I wanted to make sure what Stella was about to say.
Oh,
before.
okay.
Or is that that?
I would like, as this thing starts to appear, to because we're getting ready for a quick trip, shrug on my flannel hoodie situation.
Yep.
And as it approaches, sort of lean into the insight I know about media haters, and see if I can give Seeker an idea as to how to where its weak points might be.
Sure.
Am I using my trusted advisor ability? I would like to, yes. Essentially to provide aid.
Okay, so we'll get that when Seeker makes a die roll, but I think that's definitely a worthy argument in favor of that. Yeah, Seeker, this thing rushes sideways and then at you as this weird kind of lungy.
A lot of practice for moving the goalposts.
Yeah, exactly. But it's essentially just this giant hammer fist, descending onto you and your shield.
And the shield's ability is that, like, it will start to move when it senses an incoming because it has seen this before and it knows what BS is about to come from this.
Tiredly predictable.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
And then they get to it before the streamer even sees it.
Okay,
Wonderful.
and then
Support your mods. Say hi to DLC. Thank you, chat.
You don't have epic armor, right?
I do not. No.
Okay, so that 1 harm is going to get through. But yeah, you're able to knock away the worst of it. But also, I'll tell you, this 2 harm attack was it being caught off guard a little bit, and it can almost certainly hit much harder. So just for whatever that's worth.
So since I was like draw countering for flavor, may I make a prowess as the response? Cool. That's a 9 for me. And you had a provide aid in the tank? Excellent.
If I may, and I somehow munchkined PBTA. Give an additional +1 if you're able to provide aid through ideas or insight instead of physical actions. And if you're rolling with your if you have a cloak of wisdom, it adds fate's favor. So that's 3 die.
Yep.
Woohoo. Yeah, I somehow munchkined this game. This character.
Yes.
Wow, I still roll like shit. That'll be, oh no, okay. That will make 2 4s. There will be a...
Oh, and then that would be plus your number of relationships with Seeker. Do you have any open tangles that you feel like would apply to this new friendship?
Do I? The 2 that I have that are open are you were wrong about blank and you can't figure out why, or the secret blank keeps in their heart. Both of which I kind of, the one secret that I kind of am sussing is mostly their discomfort with their existence, which like a vibe.
Okay. Yeah. I'm comfortable with that one. So we'll give you a +1 to your total. But you rolled a pair of 4s. Is that what you said?
I rolled a pair of 4s.
Okay. +1 is a 9 though. So that's still in the +1 territory, but that's fine.
Which was all I needed because I was at a 9.
Right.
And that boosts us to 10.
Excellent. Also, Stella, take a thread for rolling doubles. And Seeker, you got a 10+ on a
on the prowess.
On what?
on the prouse.
Yes,
My
on
fighting.
smite your enemies.
Yes.
So
smit.
you can choose 3 from the list below, or disarm your enemy. I would need a pitch for disarm your enemy. I'm not sure what that would look like, but
Right, but that's obviously the most important, and also since we're given the nature of whomst / whatumst we're fighting, actually does seem like the answer here. So this is not a physical disarmament because we are not being attacked with that. When that one harm went through, Jason, what would you say the nature of that harm was?
I was picturing it as just the overpowering pressure of it hitting your shield and that jolt in your arm and your shoulder, and that was my impression. Just total kinetic transference.
So, like, given where that shadow came from, given that is pressure, and given that what Seeker has felt most of their life in terms of pressure is the pressure of the expectation and the job to be done, the one that we were talking about from the beginning of the stream of get it done, get them to shun, get them to feel shame, which tragically is what so much of my job is. Disarming my foe in that context is about the power of that shame and of that pressure here.
So what do you say to make the shadow feel bad?
There's so much more you could be getting done, so much more influence you could have if you didn't waste it all tearing down others.
So I have this image in my mind, and feel free to cut in and edit. But because you had this phenomenal smite your enemies, but chose to disarm rather than actually do harm, I'm picturing you like coming after this thing and it like trying to defend itself, and you're just like slapping arms away, just left and right. Does that seem accurate? Just blocking counterattacks and making these statements of like, why not do this? How could you? You know, just the, and it actually like shrinking as it like staggers back from you and takes another step and is like finally like falls on its butt, and it's about the same size as you now. You described Seeker as a relatively small person, and it is kind of like on its like almost crab walking, you know, it's like hands, feet, and butt scooting away from you as it's looking up at you. And it's actually like it was just a big shadowy mass with arms and legs, right? But it's taking on definition, and it is like quickly becoming a reflection of Seeker in shadow as it's hearing you, and your own words are reflecting back to you. Why don't you do better? Why not change the system? Why keep doing what you've been doing?
So let's not. Come with us. And I'll put out my hand.
It reaches out and then vanishes. And I think for the first time, the camera acknowledges the fact that Seeker didn't have a shadow, sort of Peter Pan style. And you reach out and grab this thing, and then it just like kind of unfurls behind you in like as a normal shadow, that wasn't there before and is now. And suddenly the weight of that hammer seems more banal. It's a heavy object, but that's because it's good at hitting things. What do you want to hit?
Oh, we hit the soundstage first.
And as you start to, the three of you, you turn, the hammer like accelerates its slide across the grass. It just still like cuts a furrow in the grass, but it just comes up ready for you to like pick it up. And the buzzing, the voices, all of it is gone. You have the memory of those things, certainly, but you're that you are the hammer's boss.
Let's go be a good influence.
Sure.
So, why don't y'all narrate a little bit for me entering the Paramount Studios?
Because we go right from this to like at the sidewalk,
Yeah.
like at the crosswalk across the street.
Yeah, we don't
It's a
need
very
the like
dramatic
long
street
walk
crossing.
down the. Like,
Just like I love, Demigods, monster, and a crosswalk.
The hardest part, crossing the street without a crosswalk.
who's kicking the gate in?
I can do it. I've been here probably a lot in the last few, well, not in the last few years, but before that.
Does that mean you just make the gate open?
I think there's a way. So if we're all, if I may, media tends to like lean into these tropes, and since the burned out former child star is a pretty common one, I think some of that comes with some weight as far as just the ability to do things in places of power like Paramount or any other film studios. So
Can it? Sorry, go ahead. Finish.
no, please.
Can it echo back to that scene in Sunset Boulevard where instead of everybody saying Norbert Desmond, Norbert Desmond, Norbert Desmond, it's Stella Hart, Stella Hart, Stella Hart.
Yeah.
Stella Hart's here. Who's Stella Hart? Like it's
The reference just lends it further.
yeah.
As it happens too, you do, like, anyone who is close to Stella, which would be basically everyone here at this point, does notice how much she fucking hates it. Anytime she has to access that particular part of herself is the worst. It's a bad
Hate
thing.
or love hate?
Complicated hate. It's
Yeah, 'cause
like,
particularly given what Seeker does, I think it's like, do I pick up on like, I hate that this makes me feel things?
it's the using of a tool in your tool belt, even though you dislike it. So she knows she can get attention. She's just been avoiding it. So it's one of those like, yes, I can use this ability for good sometimes, even if it's like the worst thing ever. But yeah, so that she's gonna use a little bit of her ex-celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think we don't even need to roll dice. This is the gate slides open and the guard is just like, oh, welcome, Miss Hart. +2 today. Yeah, right, of course. You're on the list. So, yeah. Sorry to make you wait. It's like you didn't wait at all. But
Yeah. She just like like is and does sort of that like the celebrity like don't look at me also as they head to like just any of the sound stages that look like they have the least amount of people around them.
Okay. Let's actually have you roll Pierce the Veil. Now, I'll give you the option because if you do get a 6-, we do need room for consequences.
I will always take a Pierce the Veil roll, let's be honest.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I just completely forgot everything that my character can do. I get a +1 to read the stars. Sorry, I get a Fate's Favor roll is it every time I pierce the veil that happens?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Okay, hold on.
Yeah, you're good at this.
I'm very good at this. That'll be an and Pierce the Veil is. Well, I don't get to add my modifiers, do I?
Just your judgment.
Yeah. That's a 14. Very good at what I do.
You may want to get the 13 plus advancement sooner rather than later.
Yeah. Well, I actually have enough threads now. Where is the?
I think you may still have to get 5 advancements before you can take the first one.
Before you can take Godlike, yeah.
Yeah, below, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
in that case, yeah.
but yeah, you kind of survey, you see kind of this place laid out for what it really is in the way that it's organizing information and attention and all of these things. And you can see there's one spot that's not currently being used, but has the potential. And you also can sense just the landscape shifting around you, and like this sense that media is going to, like, something's about to change, and ultimately media doesn't really care as long as it doesn't hurt viewership.
Oh, it won't. This will be a good. It's like the body positivity thing. It's just another good thing that we're going to repackage for views. You're fine.
Okay. And are there any questions? I think you've still got. I'll give you 2 questions off Pierce the Veil if you want them. Although I think this is more of a fuck around than a find out situation.
Yeah, it's more of a like. What is? I would ask what the best position we can get ourselves into is from here. Like, how can we position ourselves best?
Sure.
Is that fine?
Yeah, it's like a version of what's the greatest danger, but what's the least danger.
Yeah, where's the least danger?
Yeah. You identify a studio that is essentially empty, but powered up and connected and ready to be used. And it's actually a studio that is for demi beings, right? Like, it is like mortals don't use this, right? It is a proper, like, what's the reliquary, the area behind the altar of the church that the parishioners don't go to, but it's like the holy area in the back of the church. I mean, not
It's
the
not
back,
the
but like,
reliquary. That's where the saints' bones go and
oh,
stuff.
that's okay.
Like,
Not
pieces of
reliquary.
hair.
Well,
The
I mean,
rectory?
Can I?
I don't know.
Rectory.
I'm too
Yeah.
Jewish to know.
I was gonna say not.
rectory.
Yeah. I was actually gonna suggest, if I may suggest, there's like the sound stage where like they put the stages and like the sets and stuff. If it's a place where where all of these, like, that's for demigods, just to have these beefs with media. It could be just empty offices that are attached to it, or something more media centric, a prop room, like a gold room, which would have all of those relics in it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think this whole, like, this little, like, box of a studio has all of those things, right? There's like props.
Perfect.
There's like craft services set out that no one's been in here in ages, but it's all like the cold stuff is cold and the hot stuff is hot, and the cameras all kind of like wake up and are like paying attention to the fact that you've come in, but they're not rolling yet. They're
Truly horrifying.
because you haven't said the magic word.
I think also, if I may again, because Stella's seems to be kicked in the door. The set is the set from one of her previous shows.
Oh, great. Okay.
It's just there. It's sort of like walking into your house, if you like, with good memories.
Yeah, but also weirdly, like, not dusty. Like, no time has passed.
Yeah. Everything is exactly the way it was when they turned off the lights in the last episode of the last season.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well,
Okay.
welcome to hell. Stella like walks in.
As we've been walking, I think Seeker just like is talking to Lee, because like Stella's leading the way, so then you have like the 2 people who are following and they like aside.
Yeah.
So how come your dad isn't paying attention to you? Aren't you like kind of unusual for your family?
Yeah. So he really had a lot of high expectations for me. And to say I subverted those expectations would be putting it nicely. So I think he's more just putting up with me. I wish we don't see eye to eye on pretty much anything. And really all I want to do is I want to show him that my way works just as well, if not better than his way. Just because he's set in his ways doesn't mean it's the only way.
Works just as well to do what?
Well, solve the world's problems. Clearly, his way has not worked. Look at what war has done to this plane of existence. To do what? To solve the petty problems of nations. To solve people's problems. To feed people's egos. Magic can do that without the bloodshed. It can do it without the mess. War is messy. We don't need any more mess. The world's in a big enough mess as it is. I'm just trying to show him that there's another way.
Pause. Joey, you used the words "I wish" at one point.
Yeah.
If Lee would complete that sentence, summing up everything that you just said, I wish, what is the blank?
I wish I don't know. Oh my god, that's a good question. How dare you?
You're welcome to phone a friend if you want, or
Yeah, I'm not opposed to suggestions here.
No, that's perfect though. The notion that actually Lee's thing is, I have lots of feelings and I don't have a vessel or direction for them now. And so there may be splatting out sideways all over the place. Actually, it just feels very real.
Because I'm hearing Lee's kind of tirade of war, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. But in seriousness, yeah. And then I hear "I wish," and I even as your herald, I'm not sure how Lee would finish that sentence.
I don't either.
I wish my dad would just understand me.
I mean, sounds like he needs to figure that out first.
Yeah.
Because, can you really have a conversation about what you want from him until you're sure?
Wow.
Lee, do a custom just judgment roll for me.
Yeah.
And actually roll with advantage with that thing Seeker just said.
Insight checks on yourself. So hard.
That'd be an 11 total.
Yeah. Okay. So please add a box to your XP section or your threads, your gain of threads, that says trying to think of learn something about what Lee wants. Advanced self-discovery.
Okay. Oh, that kind of add to the box. I was adding another box to my threads.
Yeah, no. Add a fifth box. Right? All the little boxes there, and they have a thing that you could do to earn a thread.
No, that's what I meant. I accidentally added a sixth box to the threads line and not...
Right, you have to go farther to advance rather than you have more causes.
Yeah.
I mean, Monster gets present new insight or perspective, so discover new self-insight seems to parallel that playbook.
Yeah.
Which I guess... I might have just... I think I'm going to go take a box now.
Yep.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. And that I wish is ringing in Lee's mind of what is the end of that sentence?
What a thing for an arcane.
What was that?
What a thing for an arcane.
And the three of you are able to get on the set. It's pretty obvious that they're all following, like the cameras and the lights and everything are like wherever Stella goes, like the lights that can't see Stella are kind of like hanging down a little bit lower, like it's trying to lean to be able to shine on her. And Stella, you can almost feel like this place worshiping you, which I know Stella hates.
I think also you can hear when if Lee had that like I wish and then can't do the next thing and there's like a moment, you can hear the studio audience, which you can't see, just do the oh.
Love it. But the three of you are able to get into position. The cameras, the lights, everything's set up perfectly. What is this message that you're sending to recalibrate how media thinks about everything that went wrong today?
I almost want to throw it to Seeker because they're the one who like this is for them. I think they need to stand up for themselves and make that hashtag happen.
No. I'm not supposed to be in the spotlight. I seek people who seek that. I don't.
But you're not doing it to get attention. So you're not really
Seeker,
breaking your own rule.
That like instinctual response is like suddenly you realize like that normally comes from like the hammer buzzing in your hand or at your hip.
Oh yeah, that's just like in you. You know, you hear it
Right.
so many times. It's like, yeah.
But it comes out of your mouth and it's just hollow and you're like, those aren't my lines.
I mean, sure, but like that's definitely what I think. It's definitely.
We have pupper backgrounds.
The pupper also has opinions.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could do this. You should do this. Make yourself heard. It's the only way things are going to change.
What is media for if not providing voices for everyone?
And Seeker's gonna get up on the sound stage and just it wasn't on set, but I think at this point the studio has manifested one of those clear lecterns, and on it is the hammer in front of them, and Seeker's sort of swaying on their feet in the warmth of those lights, and looks to these people real quick for just like a I don't know if there are any buffs y'all want to throw at me. Now's the time.
Unfortunately, I don't have any buffs.
I'm made for buffs. Let me just pull that up again. The next thing I can do is trusted advisor again and roll aid with just the insight of like
cool.
attention happens.
I mean,
this is for you.
I can try to do. There's a couple effects that might work with spellcasting to kind of give you a bit of a boom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't we open with the spellcasting?
Okay. All right. Well, that is a 7 plus what? That's weird. So that's a 9.
Okay. Now, Stella, if you want to provide aid, you can either provide aid to Lee or Seeker in this moment, but not both.
I would rather provide aid to Seeker because I think that's the more
fine.
direct.
Okay.
Let's go.
Now, I don't think time is that much of an issue, Lee. So if you want to take, I think communicate impossibly is kind of
That's
what
exactly
you want.
what I wanted to take.
Okay. Now, what cost are you going to pay?
I will.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
I'm going to take a hard move.
Go ahead.
And you know this is why. Because you couldn't fill in the end of the I wish, you're going to take 2 harm ignoring armor.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Same page. Love
Yeah.
it. Love it when this happens. That heartache is real.
Physically painful heartache.
But Seeker, you feel yourself filled with words and confidence and vocabulary, and separate from that, you know you're a person now. You're a whole person, separate from your job and your responsibilities and your boss and all this shit that's going wrong all over the place that you're sort of mentally aware of. You're a whole ass person.
No more, no but.
No buts about it.
My name is Seeker. And it's been my job to meet a whole bunch of people who do something very brave, who put themselves out there, a piece of themselves, a real piece of their hearts, of their souls, to connect with other people. Connection is shared attention, coming as much from the creator as from the audience. And that is not just something not to be ashamed of. It's something to be embraced. That to seek attention is to seek connection. I've met so many of these people. I've harassed, harangued, shamed so many of these people because it has been the norm in our media to demonize the people who make themselves vulnerable in front of us, because to not need things is somehow cool. But that's not real. That's not people. Whether humans or gods, we need and we give. And it is that exchange that makes us equal and better and closer for it, closer for that connection and that sharing and needing and giving, than to be so cool as to need nothing at all or give nothing at all. People seeking attention are people putting goodness and love into the world, and should be met with such, because the choices people make, the things they enjoy publicly, the way they are, and the way that we talk about being how we are, we don't do that for some abstract connection or clout or fame. We do it because in putting a piece of ourselves out into the world, the hope is that that will resonate and make all that harassing and haranguing and shaming that came along the way, make it somehow worth it. We need to stop demonizing it and embrace those things that are most human about ourselves. to seek attention and to give it as love. Thank you. And they slink away very quickly.
Oh, Seeker, I need you to go ahead and roll plus awe.
Okay.
Do you want my help roll?
Well, we may need it. Let's see how they do.
Ooh, boy. Oh, boy. Bad. I did real bad. We don't have any more. Let's see.
You could start with spending a thread to give yourself Fate's favor.
I'm gonna do that right now.
I know you earned a couple at least.
Yep. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do it now. The good thing is that like I have a base +3 awe.
Oh, great. Okay.
I so often used that in order to shame people and to do it very precisely.
Yep.
But now I am doing it toward another end. I still rolled bad.
Okay, well, what's the total?
6.
Okay.
There's no version of this no.
Well, Stella.
I always roll with Fate's favor, and I always have a +3 to judgment. So, but it's tangles. Hold on. Sorry. Regardless, I did roll a 9 plus tangle, which is another one, which is a 10.
Okay. So if you want to give the +2,
That's an 8.
If I'm using trusted advisor, with the cloak of wisdom, I can roll with Fate's favor, correct?
Yeah. Did you not?
Yes, I did. I was just making sure that was correct.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you got a 10 plus on provide aid, so that can give Seeker a +2. Let's push you into the 8.
Yay.
And in this one circumstance, I'm gonna allow multiple helps.
Yeah.
Lee.
It was such a good speech.
But Lee, you're gonna help. You're gonna roll provide aid with you had 1 tangle marked.
Yes.
Okay, well you're gonna use the +1, but roll 3 dice and roll with Fate's favor.
Okay.
You're taking Stella's influence here.
Well, with Fate's favor, that is a 9 on the dice, +1 is a 10.
Another +2, which gets us to a 10. I couldn't have planned that out better. That is...
We limped over that.
Story dice.
Yeah, everybody putting that together exactly.
We did it in America.
Stella, you're helping with that confidence of the public speaking, and Lee, you're amplifying all of these messages and the power of it going out. And particularly Stella and Seeker, you can feel the fabric of your pantheon shift a little bit, because ultimately media is, I use the term amoral, not because there really is any such thing like that is a moral stance of its own, but media doesn't really care about good and bad. And so it doesn't really care, like, as your message goes out and it gets so much attention, media goes, well, that must be better. Right? Like it just adjusts to say, oh, yeah, vulnerability is the thing we should reward people for. And there's a change. There's a trend. There is news coverage of this new understanding of a social dynamic on the internet. And it's not, you haven't solved world peace and everything else, but people might be able to like things on the internet without getting yelled at. That's a start.
People might be able to play video games regardless of their gender without it being because, I don't know, boys are interested.
Yep.
Or
It's
people might be publicly gay. And it not being because that somehow gets you better clout.
Yeah.
Is that how that works?
That I've been told this, yes.
Yeah.
By very, very sage people who definitely know the fuck's going on. That's how it works.
but we also have to wrap for tonight. We're a little bit over time. But thank you, all of you players. This was terrific. Sam, it was so great to have you. Thank you, chat. It's always lovely to have you with us. Thank you, Dork Lord Canada, for your epic moderating skills. That
You are our shield.
Yes, the God mode we need, if not deserve. This has been so much fun. We're out next week, and enough of us are there's travels and all kinds of things going on. So we'll probably just take a day off, because that's nice too. But we will be back in 2 weeks with more story. We're scheduled to be back with all the main cast, Pooja and Minerva. And Sam, we absolutely loved your visit. This was, I guess I shouldn't speak for, it's possible that Joey and Clara just were mortified and this was a horrific experience for them.
They're very good actors. They were very persuasive when they pretended to tolerate me.
Yeah.
But hopefully, thank you for all your help in getting Minerva in getting Rosalinda out of that scandal by making it not scandalous anymore. Defanging the media snake. Yeah,
I think as soon as the transmission shuts off, she falls out of the hammer like the TikTok meme where you throw something on the ground and you come up out with a new outfit or something. But yeah. So let's go around and say a little bit about where the good people can find your good works. Clara.
Hi, I'm Clara. I played Stella. You can find me all over the internet as clearly_golden, unless you're into mermaids, in which case it's mermaid_clarity. Theoretically, I do things on that Instagram. Who knows? I'm here every Sunday playing Demigods, as you can tell, and then every Monday playing Traveler for some reason, because people seem to like having me do sci-fi, which I'm so bad at. I'm only getting worse. And I think that's everything for now. But Twitter is the best way to figure out what I'm up to.
Okay. Joey?
Copy paste. Effectively. Hi, I'm Joey. You can find me on the socials at Feywild85, FEYWILD85. Again, like Clara, you can find me here every Sunday, and then every Monday starting in a week?
Next Monday. Not tomorrow, but next Monday.
That's what I meant. That's what I was trying to say was next Monday.
Isn't that what you I would say this Monday to mean tomorrow.
Right.
And then next Monday would never mean tomorrow, right?
In theory. Sure.
People are just wrong about things sometimes.
Constantly.
Next Monday and this coming Monday being different things.
Yes.
So next Monday, you can catch me and Clara tormenting Jason in a sci-fi venue, which is just going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to show the world the monster I've created.
Speaking of monsters, Sam.
Hi, I am the self-created monster, Sam DeLev. You can find me ruining things, not indiscriminately, but nay, discriminately, with great taste and malice aforethought. And the full schedule for which can be found on my Twitch page, twitch.tv/Delevely, DELEVELY. You can also see a bunch of one-offs on my Twitter when I announce things and don't just drop in surprisedly like I did today. That's on Twitter at Tchaikovsky, CHAIKOVSKY. Big thanks to Joey and Clara and Jason for having me along for this one, this high concept little media adventure.
Well, the thanks all go to you. We appreciate you dropping in. But I contacted Sam like an hour and a half before showtime, something like that. And we cooked this up primarily through Sam's genius. So that credit is well deserved and appreciated. So thank you for coming along for that ride. My name is Jason. This channel is called It's Probably Okay. I hope you're doing okay. My Twitter is also that. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at It's Probably Okay. I stream here Wednesdays and Friday, Saturday, Sunday for the most part, and Mondays over on Happy Jacks. Tomorrow is the season finale of the current Traveler campaign, which I barged into in the middle of and just sat down and pretended like I'd always been there. And then next week, we start up a new campaign, which I hesitate to call Traveler because it barely is. I have futzed and fiddled with the rules to within an inch of its life. What did you say, Sam?
Commuter.
Commuter, yes. I have commuted quite a bit of it, so it should be a lot of fun. We're on a ring space station built around a tiny black hole, and everything is fine and normal, and nothing bad is happening. So tune in for a very chill slice of life kind of RPG campaign. Just regular people living regular lives, and that is one of my, I think that maybe is my favorite bit of ASL, is the sign language for bullshit. Also, folks, if you want to catch up on previous episodes, you can find the YouTube channel, It's Probably Okay, and or I think it's actually called Probably Okay Games. And I think that's it. Thank you. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.